Welcome back to Houston Life. There's a really cool event happening this weekend at a really cool venue, Post HTX, and it checks all the boxes this holiday season. You can support local artists, you can score one-of-a-kind gifts, and you can have a great time.
Oh yeah, it is called the Holiday Vibe Market, and the founder, Christina Terry, is joining us now with the 411 on the market. Christina, it's great to meet you.
Thank you so much for having me on.
We're glad you're here, and what you've brought today is absolutely beautiful. We have all kinds of questions about this, but let's back up a bit. During the pandemic, that's when you decided to start this market. It doesn't just happen in Houston, it's also in Austin and Dallas. You're expanding to Denver and Seattle as well.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the idea, and what's it all about?
So yes, during the pandemic, it was kind of a renegade period. A lot of people were starting businesses out of their hobbies. They were losing their jobs, their corporate business jobs, and they had to find a way to make ends meet. And so they were diving into woodworking, ceramics, things that they always did for a passion or had a hobby style to it, that they really needed to make ends meet. And so they started doing these full time, and I wanted to gift them a showcase that was appropriate for their style of workings. And so we started our markets.
Okay, so you started your markets and you said, what, come one, if you have a craft or you're an artisan, we're gonna find a space for you and fulfill it. How does it work? Did you just start cold calling people? I mean, how did you do this? It takes some gusto to do this.
Yes, so I have a side business, and it's elderberry and tea, and I had a lot of customers that were losing their jobs, like I said, and they were wanting to barter. So they were trading me their homemade ceramics and woodworking charcuterie boards and things like that to get a gift of health from elderberry. And I said, okay, you guys are extremely talented. Let me put on a showcase for you. And during the pandemic, we had our first open house showcase for these artists in my house. Wow. And from there, the news just spread. We started in a back field, then moved to a brewery, and now we're all over the place.
Yeah, you're growing and growing. We're seeing some video right here inside Post HTX. And one of my favorite parts about shopping these markets is when you're meeting these local creators and artisans. The story behind the piece you're buying, it just makes what your purchase even more meaningful. And that's part of the reason why this has been so successful. Would you agree?
Yeah, and again, that goes back to the grassroots of why we started this. We wanted an in-person event that was safe and inviting for people to come out and learn their stories. E-commerce, online sales are really great, but to get to know the person that is purchasing your art, and for that consumer to get to know the artist as well. So when they look at this piece every day, they remember the story of why that person does what they do.
Right. And
it's beautiful.
And those are amazing stories, I'm sure, that the artisans have. What has it meant to you that these things are actually successful, and the fact that you're actually expanding? What is your personal connection to it?
This is just to help people. I've always had a helper soul and a helper spirit, and I have a degree in marketing as well. So that really helped with big corporate oil and gas, but it was not as meaningful and special to me. I found where I belong and where they belong with me. We're a big artist community, a very big family, and it's just full of support, like-minded people. So everything is handmade and handcrafted. So our glass blowers can go to our ceramicists, and everyone has that family connection. We're all on the same trajectory of a handcrafted business and trying to make it in this world right now.
And hats off to everyone who during the pandemic didn't stay home and drink wine and do puzzles like I did. They actually made something beautiful.
Right, good on them.
We got a couple minutes to cruise through some of these artisans, and I gotta tell you, these are beautiful. These are oil lamps. Let's start with Athena Glass, though.
Sure, so all of these are Houston-based artists. Athena Glass quit her corporate job to do glass blowing. She's a self-taught glassblowing artist, and she wanted to make something that was affordable to the mass of patrons. And so she does all of these pieces custom or production work.
They are beautiful.
Those are beautiful.
Magic rugs, what's the story behind these?
Magic rugs, that is a Syrian-American weaving family.
Oh.
And so, yes, so they came here from Dubai. They had a really great shop there and started up here. You can often see them doing hand weaving at the markets.
Oh my gosh.
Christina, we have been looking at these crystals. I have had my eye on these. If someone came up to me and said, I'd like to barter your services for one of these crystal lamps, I would say, sure, whatever you need. Whatever you need. Exactly.
Burning Stones.
Burning Stones, mother-daughter duo, and they sustainably and eco source all of these crystals in order to make them into oil lamps. So
and
underneath,
there's a wick right in the center of our
there's a wick in the center, a reservoir underneath. It's clean burning, non-toxic, no smoke,
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
So gorgeous. And then actual artists that, you know, we think of an artist, okay, someone who paints, but this painter, I already followed her on Instagram, right, Tyler?
Yes, she is a fine art portrait painter that kind of dabbles mostly in Southwest and Western, and she has a really innate style and great portraiture. So she actually comes to our events and she'll do a portrait of you on site.
Like a quick, actual caricature, but it's good.
Oh my God.
An artistic caricature, yes.
That Elizabeth Taylor is beautiful. Also, we just scratched the surface here because you also have jewelry, you have these plants. The list goes on and on. You got to check it out at the market. Christina Terry, thank you so much. Holiday Vibe Market is once again happening Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Post HTX, the perfect venue, also decked out for the holidays.
Yeah, for more information, visit our website, HoustonLife.tv. Look for that Scene on Houston Life section, and we will be right back.